Welcome to the Alpha Girl Confidence Podcast, where we are empowering youth female athletes to play and live confidently. My name is Shay Haddo, and each week I will bring you new episodes to teach you the strategies and tools that you need in order to live a confident, empowered life both on and off the playing field. What's up, Alpha Girl Confidence fam? Welcome back to episode 145. So we are in the thick of the Olympics. There's been a lot of exciting things, a lot of eye-opening things that have been going on. And today I want to talk about why Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles are the queens. I know this didn't, with Naomi, this didn't happen during the Olympics, but as you've probably heard, right, Simone Biles withdrew from the team competition in order to focus on her mental health. She wasn't feeling right. She had obviously the weight of the world on her. And as I was watching her, I really wondered how she handled that, right? Like everyone probably in the whole world is watching you, expecting you to be the best. And that, even as the best athlete, the most elite athlete in the world, can be very hard to handle. But what I really wanted to talk about in this episode, since it's very fresh on our minds and fresh in our hearts, is the importance of mental health, right? You can be the best athlete in the world. You can be Simone Biles. You can be Naomi Osaka. You can be the most talented player in the world. But if your mental health isn't right, if your mindset isn't right, if your confidence isn't right, then nothing else matters. Everything goes out the window, because your body can only be as good as your mind. Your body can only be as good as your mind, and your body will follow your mind. So if your mind is good, your mental health is great, your confidence is high, your body will show up. I promise you, your body will show up. But on the other hand, if your mental health isn't great, if you've got anxiety or depression, or just having a hard time handling life, your body's also going to respond to that in a not so great way. So it doesn't matter. I really, really want you to get this. And I hope by seeing other world-class athletes go through this, that it doesn't matter how good you are if you aren't first focusing on and prioritizing your mental health. I have so much respect for these two women and for anyone who stands up for themselves, because they know deep down that their own mental health and their own well-being is more important than a gold medal. I know we all think that an Olympic gold medal is the most important thing in the world, but it's nothing compared to somebody's mental health. So I want you to ask yourself, are you prioritizing your mental health? Are you focusing on it? Are you prioritizing working on your mindset and your confidence? Or are you just trying to get better by simply working harder? Because here's the thing, and I think we're finally starting to realize this as a society, that in order to get better and be the best, it's not just about working hard anymore. You can put in the reps. You can train hours and hours and hours and hours on end. You can spend thousands of dollars on physical trainers, on speed trainers. But that's not always going to cut it. Nor is it going to make you happy, nor is it going to help your mental health. It starts with your mind. It starts with your mind. So look at it this way. All right. If you want to become better, you can't just do a bunch of training and do a bunch of training. Yes, that will help, but it's not going to address the root issue. It's not going to address the root. In order to get better, at anything in life, as a person, as a human being, as an athlete, you have to first start with your mindset. You have to start with your mental health, because once you do that, that is the root. That is what grows everything else. Think of it like a tree, right? Without the root, the fruit doesn't happen, right? Without the root, the tree doesn't grow. The root, which you cannot see, is underground, but the root is what grows and bears fruit and bears the things that everyone can see. So think of your mindset that way, that it's not something that people can see. You maybe look at Simone Biles and she looks totally fine, right? But you don't know what's going on underneath the surface. So you have to address your root. You have to cultivate your root. You have to cultivate your mind first. I promise you, I've gone through this myself, obviously not on the stage that Naomi and Simone have, but I've been through my career where my anxiety was horrible, where I couldn't handle the pressure and I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't even know like what I was going through. I was ashamed of how I was feeling because I thought that just the harder I worked, the better I was going to be. And it didn't work that way. It never has for me, and it never will for me. I have to remind myself of that all the time with everything that I do, with podcasts, with coaching, with my workouts. If my mind isn't right, nothing else will follow. So to make this really relevant to you, first off, know that other girls your age, other women like Simone and Naomi, are going through these things. They're not perfect. They're never going to be perfect. Yes, they're the best in the world, but they still struggle. They're human beings. They still have anxiety. They still crash under pressure, right? They still go through these things. Even if you're the best in the world, you still have to work on it. So for you, you need to really, I don't want to say you need to because it's your life. You get to choose how you want to live your life. But I'm really encouraging you to take a step back and evaluate how much of my time am I spending on mental training? How much of my time am I spending focusing on me and not other people? How much of my time am I focused on meditating versus comparing myself to other people on social media? Right? This is so important because I promise you, the more you focus on improving your mindset, the more you focus on improving your confidence, the more fun you're going to have, the more fulfilled you're going to be, the better athlete you're going to be, and the better person you're going to be. And the cool thing with mindset and confidence, guess what? When you're done playing, it's not like you don't need it anymore. You almost need it more when you go out into the real world, right? So the cool thing with mindset and confidence is it will stay with you forever. So the work you do now will stay with you for the rest of your life, right? And I'm not knocking technical training or anything like that because yes, you need it right now, but do you need to learn do you need to be a good juggler? Do you need to have a great shot when you're in your career? Like when you have your own career? No, none of that matters when you're done playing. So why do we not focus on the thing that'll actually last a lifetime? Isn't that interesting to think about? So I hope that number one, you've been learning from, these last two, athletes that have gone through this and that have really stuck up for themselves. I'm just so much respect for these women. So I hope that you have gotten something out of that and really learn that, it's okay to feel this way. And number two, like, wow, my mental health is the most important thing. Like mental health over anything, mental health over scoring a goal, mental health over a freaking gold medal, right? Mental health over everything. And then I also hope you got a lot out of this episode and how it can relate to you and how you can really start to prioritize your mental health. And speaking of which, the Alpha Girl Collective is open for a few more days. And I'm fired up. Like this is coming at the best time because we already have a bunch of girls in the program, but I'm so glad that I opened it back up again because I want to keep growing this community. And there's no better time than the present. There's no better time than in the present. You are seeing this firsthand on the world's biggest stage. So if you want to learn how to prioritize, not only prioritize, but the strategies and the tools and the community to support you in being mentally strong, to support you in having the right mindset and being confident, then you're going to want to check out the Alpha Girl Collective because we got something pretty awesome going on. So the links will be in the show notes. Again, it's only open for a few more days. If you're late to it, then you can join the wait list, but it's only open for a few more days. So I hope to see you in there. I hope this episode brought a ton of value to you. If it did, please share it with a friend too. And let's get this message out there. Let's help each other to be the best people that we can possibly be. All right, see you on the next episode.